Operation Varsity Blues is the biggest scandal in the history of college admissions. At least 50 people are involved, with parents giving tens of millions of dollars in bribes to help get their kids into top colleges.
The mastermind behind it all is Rick Singer from Key Worldwide, who has turned on his clients. Basically, he's taken a plea deal from the FBI.
We're here today to announce charges in the largest college admissions scam ever prosecuted by the Department of Justice.
With us now is criminal defense attorney Sara Azari to help break down this story. First of all, welcome to you, Sara. Thank you for coming in. Let's begin with what specifically are these people being charged with? I mean, there is a litany of charges.
Right. There are 50 individuals ranging from exam takers, exam administrators, athletic coaches, big executives like Singer and his people, and then, of course, the parents. And they're charged in clusters. They're grouped, by category, by role. In various jurisdictions all over the United States, and these charges include conspiracy to racketeer, mail fraud, tax fraud, obstruction of justice, and money laundering. Now, the tax fraud is really interesting. I've been asked a lot about this. Why is it tax fraud? Because a lot of these individuals were the bribe money that they were paying to Singer, they were then turning around and writing it off on their tax returns as a charitable contribution, and that is tax fraud. It's basically bribe in disguise. Right? Mm-hmm. So that's what they're charged with. Again, different roles, different things, bribe takers, bribe payers, and that's where we're at.
I want to real quickly ask you about the racketeering statute, the RICO, because that is customarily used for organized crime. It isn't something you think about for something like this, but the feds are now applying it to this bribery scheme.
Right. They're treating this as a criminal enterprise. But for all these different players engaged in this criminal conduct, they wouldn't be able to carry out this scheme. It is probably one of the most serious offenses under federal law to be charged with.
And we're thinking that it's growing. I mean, the 50 people who've been charged, we think there are going to be other charges brought against more people. And the question is, what kinds of sentences are these people facing, especially the parents?
Good question. So the sentence is going to range by the role and also the price tag on the criminal conduct. So you've got Felicity Huffman at $15,000. You've got Lori Loughlin at $500,000. And the parents who sent their kids to Yale fraudulently, $1.2 million. And then you have Singer, who took tens of millions of dollars over the 8-year course of the scope of this crime in bribe money. So everyone's, penalties, consequences are going to vary.
So some people could only get probation and other people may get prison time.
The parents could vary from probation to 5 years for mail fraud. But let me just say this, corruption cases are not sympathetic cases. When you go before a sentencing judge in federal court, the bribe takers are going to look like greedy you-know-whats, and the parents are going to look like the wealthy, privileged, presumably entitled individuals. And however, you also have to balance that out against some of these folks being pillars in the community, philanthropists, people that have done really good things in their lifetime, but for this isolated crime.
It's like
so that's
first
also
defense.
Correct, but also good things that they've done in the community, and that's going to get considered by a federal sentencing judge in fashioning the sentence.
The other thing, the coaches and the sports, the people who played a part in this, only one coach out of all that were listed did not take any money for himself. Others took some for themselves and then put some money back into the program.
Right, which is self-serving.
Well, it's also weird. $700,000 for Stanford for the sports program. Like, how did no red flags go up?
I think that's going to take us to the defense, right? The coaches are going to say, I didn't benefit from this. I put it in my program. Well, that's the same difference, right? And also the parents are going to say, maybe I didn't have knowledge. I didn't know this. I thought I'm paying this really fancy elite organization to get my kid into college. I did not know that they were doctoring the scores, Anyway, that's going to depends on the evidence.
We're running out of time here, but I do want to get this in. What about the kids? What about the kids who got into these schools and they didn't deserve to get in?
Very interesting. These kids, for every kid that got in fraudulently, another kid got bumped, right? And I think these colleges could potentially be exposed to lawsuits by the kids that didn't get in. The kids themselves, however, many of them didn't know. I mean, these are like helicopter parents who were doing this because they so badly wanted their kid to go to a particular, university, without the kids. And imagine trying to get your kid into Yale, and then now the kid is like the center of attention on the college campus as the kid who got in fraudulently, as the kid who cheated on the exam.
Yeah, but if you're a kid posing for a picture and it's being photoshopped, it's kind of hard to buy that
category.
No,
the sports category is totally different. I'm with you, Roxia, but the category of the exam cheaters, that it's imagine like your parent basically purchasing your score and you not knowing.
It is a legal quagmire. All right,
Wow. Thanks
Sarah,
for having
thanks so
me.
much.
Nice to see you.